Hey guys, I'm Joe. Welcome to another Zilla video. This week we're checking out the Celestion G12M Greenback speaker. Now the Greenback speaker is probably one of Celestion's most famous speakers of all time, but Greenback itself can actually mean a lot of things, and I'm not going to go into too much detail about the history of the Greenback speakers here, because there are definitely people who'll be able to tell you more accurately the history of that speaker. But it's fair to say that the term Greenback has over the years encompassed several different designs. And still within Celestion's current lineup, there are a few speakers under the Greenback name. But the one we're checking out here is what you might consider to be the sort of standard Greenback. This is the G12M Greenback, 25 watt 8 ohm speaker. And this is a speaker that follows the classic lineage of the 25 watt Celestion, found in the 60s and 70s, making the sound famous of the Marshall 4x12. It's a sound that we all know and love really well. So characteristically, it's fair to say that this is probably the speaker that a lot of other speakers get compared to. Here we've got that classic Celestion mid-range, really detailed, with a slightly muted, rolled off top end, but still plenty of snap and bark there in the top end, but without things getting too fizzy. So on the front of the video you heard me playing this Les Paul Classic with P90 pickups, just playing over a loop with the Strymon Riverside Overdrive on top. And yeah, I thought it sounded really great with allowing some of that little bit of bite and snap from the top end to come through. But as we usually do in these videos, let's clean it up first and try the Strat. So with the clean sound there, I think the Greenback just sounds like home for me, if that makes sense in guitar terms. It's just a really balanced sound. Not a ton of low end, not a ton of top end either, but that's kind of where the guitar sits, is in those mid frequencies. So it's just a really great bass sound for building a sound on top of, I think. And I was trying out a few different things. I put the delay and some reverb on there and a little touch of boost, and I think the speaker just really provides a great platform for building your sound on. It's worth mentioning here that if you are using one of these 25 watt speakers in a 1x12 cab, you are limited, of course, to what amplifier you can use through it. Today I'm using a 50 watt 78 Marshall JMP, but I'm relatively quiet here. I think the master's set on about 2 or 3, which is still loud enough, but it's well within the limits of what this speaker can handle. But if I was to take this 1x12 out to a gig, you probably want something a bit more than a 25 watt speaker in there, just to be on the safe side. For me though, what this speaker's all about is that classic Marshall sort of driven sound with the Les Paul or something. So let's switch over to the Les Paul and see what kind of sounds we get from the speaker. So that's that classic Celestion Greenback voice for me. It's pretty clear to see why people like Angus Young use these. This, yeah, with a Marshall driven, a Gibson with humbuckers and a Greenback, you're away, I think, for that sort of thing. As usual with these in-depth speaker videos, we started with our compact 1x12, which is an open back cab. So a slightly open area, bloomier bottom end than usual for that kind of rock tone. But something that still really works for me, I think. It sounds really great. And it works especially nice at these sort of slightly lower volumes in a studio setting. In a full band context, I prefer to have a closed back cab for playing rhythm parts especially, because just provides a bit more punch and directionality. So let's go ahead and load this speaker into our Fatbaby 1x12. Fatbaby being related to our popular Fatboy cab. It's the same depth and height as a Fatboy, just made slightly narrower, so to make an oversized 1x12 cab basically. So yeah, let's load that in there now and see what sounds we can get from a closed back. Alright, so the speaker's loaded in our Fatbaby 1x12 now, which is a closed back cab, and let's see how it's sounding. So for me, that's that classic Celestion Greenback sound. And again, the recipe is the Marshall cranked up, a Gibson style guitar with humbuckers, a closed back cab especially, just allows it to just focus a little bit more and keeps the bottom end tight and focused. So when those chords ring out, you get the nice thick mid-range. But when you mute and choke those chords, you get that direct punch and immediacy that you get from a closed back cab. So you can see that this is a firm favourite of people who play classic rock styles, and it does that AC/DC thing really great, I think. This speaker also has a firm following in the stoner rock and doom genres, so let's try a guitar with a lower tuning and maybe some fuzz and see what kind of sounds we get out of that. So this is my 1980 Ibanez Artist. It's kind of, I think it's a bit Les Paulish in construction. It's got like a mahogany body, but it's got a maple neck actually, that's right, and a maple cap. And it weighs an absolute ton. And I keep this in C# standard for the band I play in. So let's try this out with a fuzz. So I don't yet know how that's sounding on the microphones, but sat next to the cab sounds absolutely awesome. The fuzz pedal kicks out a lot of low end, so this speaker having a slightly reduced low end just really helps keep things in check there. And the same story with the top end as well. The fuzz can get a little bit fizzy in the top end, so having the speaker just roll that off slightly is just like a perfect complement for that sound. But it's, having said all that, it still sounds really weighty and heavy. So I can see why that speaker's really popular in this kind of style of music. And I think that's something that's becoming really apparent doing these in-depth looks at the Celestion speakers. It's just how versatile a lot of them are. So we've gone from using this speaker in an open back cab with a Strat playing a clean sound and it sounding really great, all the way up to using big heavy guitar in C-sharp standards with a fuzz pedal in a closed back cab and it's sounding really heavy and equally as legitimate. One thing I want to just stress again here is that this is only a 25 watt speaker, so I know I'm playing this in a 1x12 today, but typically if I was going to go out and gig one of these speakers, I'd want to at least have 2 of them in a cab, and ideally maybe 6. So let's pull things back a little bit. I was really enjoying the sound of those P90s and the Les Paul Classic, so I think I'll play us out on that guitar. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon for notifications so you get a little notification when our new videos come out. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us, click on the thumbs up and leave us a comment as well if you enjoyed the video, or if you didn't enjoy the video, or if there's anything you think we should have looked at, anything we should have done differently. I'd like to know what your experience is with the G12M Greenback speaker. It's such a classic sound that I think it's something that all guitarists should try out, and if you have had a chance to play it, let me know about that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in another video next week.